with you guys in the AO community. I am waiting to make sure everything's looking good here. I'm going to start with a little background. Okay, looks like we're good to go. Okay, hi again, everybody. It's Greg DAmico. I have a software company called Efficient, and been doing mentorship here with AO for a little while. Oh, I don't know, for over a year, I guess now, and excited to be back. I was out last month. Sorry to miss you guys, but I lost my mother, and was it's a tough one, and she was in a lot of pain and a lot of suffering. So she's peaceful now, and I am trying to be content with that, but still a big emotional loss. So I do my little bit background. I started out and had an investment firm back in the early 90s, and into the 2000s. I had a mutual fund, rode the wave up in the late 90s, rode it back down again, and then I started a software company. 2004, I went to India, set up my own office, and been doing custom software applications. Right now, we do a lot of mobile and e-commerce and data integration type work to help people have access to the data and intel in their businesses so that they can explore and look at their metrics and have a better understanding of their business to help make better decisions. So with that, I am going to jump into these questions. I got a lot of them today, so it'll take a little bit of time. We'll probably go a good hour. Anyway, first name submitter is Roland Bernoth. Hope I said that right. Okay, question they asked, do I separate ways and build my own, or is it always this hard to work with family? Okay, business description and background. In our family company, my father is the owner, and I'm supposed to take over the company in a few years. I came to work with him a year ago. On the side, I have an import-export business, revenue around 500,000 US, that I believe has potential. Recently, I am realizing he has been very abusive emotionally all my life, but just starting to realize this. I came home to work for him, but he looks at me as any other worker, not respecting my qualities of speaking several languages, having experience in management. He wants to make me do physical work and then tells me I'm lazy when I tell him that this is not what I'm here for. Long term, I see big potential in our family business, building up logistics, e-commerce, etc. But right now, we are at odds fighting because he's trying to micromanage everything, me as well. Many times I'm feeling I'm wasting my time and potential here. My mental energy is draining, but I am the oldest son in the family and was pretty much programmed. That is my responsibility to take over the company. I do feel emotionally attached, but I feel like I am destined for bigger things in life. So, Roland, I'll say to that you have the curse of entrepreneurialism, which means that you are not employable. Okay, just like myself, I am not employable. I cannot work for somebody else. Somebody else would fire me because I would not follow the rules, not play by the typical aspects of the flow, and it would get me in trouble. But that's what we do as entrepreneurs. We go out and break the rules, break into different opportunities, and try to help the world be a better place with our eyes looking to explore and expand on things that can make the world a better place. So I would say that there's a lot of details here that I would need to know about that would help to answer this question, but really I don't have the answers here. You do, and the answers are inside you. So it's a matter of digesting some of the things that you have talked about and looking at it in a way that could take a little bit of the emotion out and add some rationalization to you. And that can be done in some type of what some people call peaceful thinking, or some people call meditation. I would do I'd look at it as like getting quiet and peaceful and taking deep breaths. You can do that with like six breaths in, 6 breaths out, or so hold to 6 and then let out to 6, and maybe do that like 5 or 6 times and sit peacefully and contemplate. With that, you're going to be able to start over a period of time. It's not going to happen the first time, but if you do that, you're going to have more intel come to you, and that heart-mind connection will occur so that you can make better decisions. So this is a tough one. I'm not going to say one or the other because that it's just too many things here. You're talking about family, and that becomes too personal, and a lot of long-term implications are being looked at here. But like I said in the beginning, you're an entrepreneur, so there's maybe an opportunity for you doing your own thing for a while, learning and growing, and then coming back into business. That happens a lot in family businesses, and key person goes out, that key person that the business should evolve to or be handed down to, and they leave and go out and explore a little bit in the world, gain some insight, knowledge, work under other people and other systems, and come back to that in a better way. So hopefully that'll help you some. If not, email me and we can maybe talk some more with some more details. Next question. You guys' names on here, they're always tough for a dyslexic, so I'll do my best. Bob Jiggereer, it looks like, asked the question, how much of being successful in business is winning the game against yourself? Business description and background question. Through a mastery of online poker back in the day, I realized that the key to success was to win the game against myself. Controlling my emotions, avoiding temptation, and deep thought on new information was the secret sauce. As I've begun the Maximize Your Mindset course, it seems like poker and business could be similar in this sense. Thoughts? Elevator pitch. Over the past 2 years, developed a skincare managed product, and I'm looking to build a brand and company around it. Okay, Bob. Yes, you are right. And in fact, it is most of it, in that winning the game is really against yourself. Our own self-imposed limitations are our problem. They hold us back the most, not other people, but we tend to blame other people, and they hold us back because we impose a certain level or ceiling on ourselves, and at times breaking through that ceiling and reaching new heights is really hard to do, because we self-sabotage and we do the things that bring us back to a level that we think that we're supposed to be at. So one way to break through that, and I've run into that at different times in my life, and even not that recent past, even though I've had a lot of success in my life. And when I did, I was working with a coach, and with that he told me about writing in a journal. Being dyslexic, writing things down was never a strength of mine, and but I started to do it. And what I did was I did a daily journal where I would talk about the things that I was grateful for. When you are in a grateful mode, you're taking yourself away from limitations and so forth, and opening yourself up to abundance. So gratefulness is huge, and you can be thankful for so many things. You can be thankful for the beauty of the day. You can be thankful for the places you are, the people you meet, the people that change your life. You can be thankful for what you currently have right now, and also being thankful for what's to come. So thankful for your health, thankful for a lot, you name it, across the board, there's a lot to be thankful for. And when you practice that, you open yourself up. I know that when people talk to me in the past about being grateful, I was very, kind of skeptical. Okay, yeah, I'm grateful. I'm a grateful person. Yes, thank God and thank the universe, or thankful for what is in front of me. But I did not practice in a sense that you're trying to open up a new stream of connection to to what you vibrate out there, is what you attract to you. So when you're very grateful, you're going to attract the potential to a lot of abundance. Hope that helped, Bob. Okay, Kelly Killingsworth. Thanks, Kelly, for the easier name. Question: what is the professional way to answer a client who asks to receive a specific itemized quote after you have given them the bid for the job? business background, description and background of question. I own a small construction company that specializes in fences, decks, roofs, and small interior renovations. I put a bid on a garage remodel where I contracted the electrical part of it out. I added 20% on the electrical bid, not sure if that's kosher, plus my materials and my time. After giving my bid, the client then asked for an itemized quote. So, Kelly, yes, I think it's very appropriate for them to ask for itemized, but it's also very appropriate for you as being the contractor to engage subcontractors and you make money from that work that you're doing as part of the overall project. Now, how you disclose this and how you work with it is up to you. My son is a contractor, and my son works to build things. He brings in the subs, and with that, he's bringing the money, and it's a lot of times around 15 to 20%, so it's appropriate. So in itemizing everything out, I'd itemize the materials that you have in there. I'd itemize the labor that you're putting into it, if any, and the electrical. Now, electrical, you don't have to say you marked it up 20%. You could say electrical materials are X and electrical labor is Y, and your 20% is built into that. So it's very appropriate to do some type of itemization, because as a business owner that has asked for services, and times I hear things that says doesn't make sense to me. Let me see it. When I see it broken down, I get it. It adds up to a number that I really wasn't thinking about. So that's what your client is doing here, and you providing that opportunity for them. But also for their expectation that you're going to make money on this, so you can disclose that in whatever way you feel is best. But a lot of times in this space, the client will say all materials and labor that I bring to the table, and I add 20% to that, and you add all the materials, all the different subcontractors, labor, and then you put 20% on top of that. Or you just put in, this is the price electric, this is the price for the AC unit, this is the price for the plumbing, and that percentage gets added in to the total amount that you want to charge, which will include your percentage. So there's also lots of software out there for invoicing and bidding that people are not using, and I would highly recommend that. In fact, I've been pushing my son. He's not using it right now. I've been pushing him to use it. So that will help you in speeding up the process for quotes. A lot of this work that you do is quoting business and spending the time to do a quote for somebody, and if you can streamline that process as efficiently as possible, then that's going to help you to scale a little bit more. So I don't have any suggestions, but I would Google them and look it up and see what you come up with. I hope that helps. Okay, next question is by Heather Brockman. Heather asked, is there an average training period I should be working towards with my new hires? Business description and background question. We currently have our on-the-job training set at 80 hours to cover all aspects of the company, the processes, the vehicles, and this is all followed by a test to make sure they understand and can implement everything. It is paid training, of course, but the groomers who are used to making commissions, it is a dramatic change, $100 a day for paid training. This may have cost me a new hire. I'm now wondering, do I keep the training thorough and mandatory, 80 hours, or is this the same across the board, or do I tweak it for each person? Elevator pitch. We offer high-end, holistic grooming experience for busy pet owners and whose animals are part of the family. Okay, Heather, really good question, and that one, impressive about your training. Okay, you having training and a process in place are the quality good companies. They do this type of setup to provide consistency and the ability for their employees to learn how to best integrate with their clients, go through the processes for safety, for other measures that prevent accidents, mistakes, and problems for everybody. So having that in place is awesome. So what do you do about something like this? Well, there's some different options, okay? I would, Maybe you separate out new hires with inexperienced hires, okay? Inexperience in your field. Okay, if somebody's coming from a different pet grooming business and they are experienced, maybe you want to treat them a little bit differently or slowly integrate them, if possible, with the training process so they can make some money. Or another way to do it is that, say, maybe after 90 days of them being on the job working to create value, that you will bonus them some of those tips that they lost in the beginning to attract that new hire. Okay, so there's some different ways you can finagle this, and maybe that you don't pay it all out in 90 days. Maybe you pay it out over time to help incentivize that person to stay on board. That, you know, the average amount of tips per day could be about this number, and over that training period, you could do that to incentivize the good people, so you don't lose options. Inexperienced people need to go through the process of learning and growing and so forth, and that's just part of their education, and you're paying them for that, so there's no issues from the way I would look at it. And yeah, I think that's about all I have on that. So, you know, think about it. There's different ways to explore the payout process and be creative with it. You can do it where you pay chunks. It's almost like vesting. If you're familiar with retirement plans, investing, if you stay with a company 1 year, you get 20%, 2 years, you get 40%, 3 years, 60, and on up to, a lot of times, 5 years, you get 100%. So it means you have to stay with a company to get the money that they put in a retirement plan for you up to, like, say, 5 years. Here is that you stay with me for a period of time and I will pay you those lost commissions that you have because they're working to be productive and make you money and so on and so forth. And actually knowing the numbers and that data that each groomer is doing, how they're producing and so forth, is helpful for you. So if you're keeping track of that, that's going to be advantageous to tell you how much that each person's making, and then potentially the satisfaction that they're getting from your customers. Next question. Allison. Allison's last name is Koeaing, I think. So I'm sure I didn't do that one. Allison here's Allison's question is, how do you deal with employees lying to you? Business description and background question. It's another question. My other ones hasn't answered yet. Hope that this is okay. So I guess she answered another question in a previous program. So Allison, marketing agency. Yesterday I found out that someone that works for me has been lying about the work she's been doing and using the company time to do other work that has nothing to do with the task I assigned her. She also went against the confidentiality agreement she signed by using techniques and strategies I taught her for our agency's work for other work she's been doing and lying about. Wondering how you dealt with this situation like this before and how I should approach the situation. Thank you for time and expertise. Okay, well, it's actually pretty simple for me. Okay, I've had problem situations in the past. I've had employees that were working for me and expected to get projects done that were out contracting separate project and doing those on the time that they were supposed to be working for me. Okay, to me it's inexcusable, and they will be let go under my roof. So I put up with the lying. You know, lying is relative in a lot of sense. Lying, a little white lie to protect somebody's feelings, or is this out and out lying that's breaking down a relationship and the approaches that you're trying to do with running a company and the culture that you're building? And in this situation, it looks like a lot of what you said is very extreme, and I wouldn't put up with it. So you handle it the way you think is best. But in my experience, if you have somebody that is working at that ethical type of level, they're going to cause more damage in the future, and they shouldn't be around or continue to be in an environment that then cause more damage to you. Thanks, Allison. Okay, so next question is by Lindsay Laninen. Questions they asked: how do you settle a dispute over two employees that don't like each other? Business description and background of question: I own a chocolate business. However, my dispute is with an employee where I work. I've already gone to my manager and nothing has really been done. I want to know what the most professional way is to approach the situation. Elevator pitch: I sell chocolates with ingredients collected from direct trade farms in sustainable sourced packaging. Okay, Lindsay. Uh, a lot of this stuff, and I've been in office environments. Most of the time, they've been my offices because the companies I run. In my beginning of my career, we rented office space, my partner and I, when we started an investment firm, from other people. And I saw the office politics and the get along, people trying to get along and not get along and so on. And I had my employees with the problems of not getting along. And I would say to you that since this is in another job where you are an employee, that usually a lot of time it's just misunderstanding and communication issues. So being the bigger person, trying to take deep breaths and get some of the emotion out of the way, I would just talk to this person. Hey, it looks like something here is going on between us, and I don't know if you're irritated, I don't know if you're uncomfortable, but I really like to know if there's something that I've done that offends you or is a problem, and at least help me to understand so that we can work together. Going about it that way can a lot of times open up a discussion that will allow you to hear and listen to somebody and try to be empathetic. Okay, like trying to put yourself in that person's shoes, and when you hear things from that person's perspective and you relate to where that person's coming from, it allows for the engagement to work. I've been working with Eric Maddox. Eric is the guy who caught Saddam Hussein, and so he did it through empathetic listening, not some type of torture program, but he did it by engaging what was the enemy to try to tell him where certain people were that would lead to one person, that would lead to the next, and can get them down the path of leading to Saddam Hussein. And he used empathetic listening. And there's techniques and tactics to it, but really it's just trying. The basis of it is trying to understand where that person's coming from their side. So you can tell them what you're wanting to know, and look at it from their side and their environment to see what's going on. A lot of times, it's not even you, it's something else, and somehow they're taking out on you, or somehow it's being reflected in a way that it's assumptions. We all make assumptions, and we all look at our own issues, and we project that out to the world, and we think everybody sees that, and a lot of times they don't. Can be a complete misunderstanding. So here in office world and people and dealing with people, and people are your biggest asset. People are your biggest source of problems in business. And you want good people. You want to build a culture of good people. And there's a lot of work that goes into that. But when you have people problems, it's definitely stressful and straining. And just asking I bring people into my office and say, hey, what's going on here? What do why is there such a problem? Why are you not getting along with this person? And I would try to understand. And I found out a lot of times the one person who thought it was mad, it was completely because of some other weird, strange, different issue. So give that a try, and hopefully that'll help. Okay, next question is also from another Lindsay. It's Lindsay Grifka. Question: how can I get the attention of the buyer after I receive their personal email or a purchasing team email from a cold call to the dispensary? So the business background and of question is, I have been calling dispensaries and have been putting and getting personal emails or buying team emails from the bud tender. I'm currently writing an email to them. As soon as I hang up, it reads, hi, name of potential person. I just spoke with bud tender's name about my new line of cannabis storage accessories and grinders that are really taking off. He or she recommended I email you to schedule a call. When are you free to chat a bit more about my innovative line? The subject is either bling blunts at dispensary name or hey, person's name. I sometimes include pictures of bestsellers and other times I do not. I haven't received any emails back yet, but I've started this yesterday, so I'm being patient. All of the dispensaries have already received 3 emails prior to my calls and with an intro into the brand, but basically those emails went to general inbox. Thank you, Lindsay. Elevator pitch. At Bling Blunts, we break stereotypes and promote self-expression and confidence by offering innovative and chic personal storage containers that are high fashion, functional, and discreet. So our Canna Farm can enjoy themselves to the fullest without critique or judgment. Try our smell-resistant, airtight, child-proof, and reusable containers today. Probably should have read the elevator pitch to maybe make a little bit more context to you, the business description. Okay, so my thoughts on this. First of all, the email that you're sending is all about you. And a key, very, very key point in business is to realize that your customers do not care about you. Straight up. They don't give a shit. Okay? What can you do for them, or what kind of value can you provide them? So let me give you a quick example. So my software company is called Efficience, and if I send out an email to somebody, or to you, okay, Lindsay, I'm sending you an email. What you're doing, you're working your company, maybe you've got some things, need some software services. So I send an email and say, hi Lindsay, this is Greg at Efficience, and we do custom software applications, build mobile apps, e-commerce apps, and so on and so forth. And if there's anything I can help you with, let me know, because we are a great software company, and we've been in business for 15 plus years, and we have a great team. Okay, what did I just do? I just sent out something that talked all about me. You don't care. So if I said something like this instead, I actually was recently putting together something that I wanted to kind of do a little social media around. Infor is a ERP system, and we've done integration work with this Infor SX ERP system, where we built integration pieces to help get people online, because the main system doesn't allow for direct access to customers. So if I said, Infor users, are you having a problem with getting your customers online to buy your products, and dealing with a lot of difficulties with your salespeople having to come back and place the actual orders instead of the customers doing it for themselves? So you see there, I presented a problem to my potential clients that they may be having, and if they resonate with that problem, they are more apt to wake up to what they're seeing, get more excited about it, and respond to it, because, hey, this person is solving my problem. I am going to go after and want to work with somebody like that, because I'm going to respond to them, email them back, because I think they may be able to help me create value for me. So I want to talk to them. Okay, so like I said, your email, how can you position that email to them that is solving their problem? What is their problem? And if they're not having a problem, it makes it a little more difficult. But if they're having a problem of not having containers that are functional and useful to them, and they have problems with them, and they break and other things, then present that problem. Hey, customer, are you having difficulty with taking care of your cannabis in a way that provides for secure and longevity and storage and other types of things? If so, we have products that can help you. Okay, just a different way to look at it. And actually, for anybody on here, anybody listening to this, that if you present your business in solving other people's problems, approach and way and vocabulary, or using the right words and that speak to that person, you're going to have a much better opportunity to create business. Okay, name is Jake Carlisle. And Jake says, how do I make big time connections without feeling insecure? Business description and background of question. I feel like I would not belong with the big boys, at least not yet, because I haven't done much. I feel they wouldn't take me seriously. Real estate, in parentheses. So, let's see, Jake, this applies to the earlier point I made about our self-imposed limitations. You are placing a self-imposed limitation on yourself and doing some of that work with maybe journaling and or taking some time to be grateful about all that you've accomplished so far, what you do for the world, how you help your customers, how you have created value for them, and do that in a way that allows you to build up your value, that you can create relationships with bigger players in the marketplace. Okay, it may not happen right away. Sometimes we just got to pay our dues. We've got to work. I started out early. I was in college actually, and I got an internship with an insurance company, and I was out doing insurance and financial planning for people. And I was out doing minuscule stuff, and I wanted to be like the big guys in the office that were selling $1 million policies and other things like that. But it just comes with a little bit of time and experience to get you to that place, and for people to see you maybe a little bit differently. But that doesn't mean you can't do more now to help open up and not have these self-imposed limitations and know that you're worthy and valuable, and provide some type of approach, like I was saying, to allow that to build. And as that builds and you get more confidence, you do more deals and so on, you'll reach that level of people. Okay. And what I found, I grew up very low income. I actually lived in a trailer at one point in my life, and my parents got divorced, and it was the one option that my mother had for us, and we had to do that for a few years. And it wasn't who we were, but it was part of the life the cards that we were dealt at the time. And you know what? I went through life at times thinking that maybe I'm not good enough and so forth, and I can't be like them, and I can't have the money as them. Those were the self-imposed limitations that I have to take on for myself, and I had to grow through them. So it's just a matter of doing some of this work, continuing to have that self-improvement type of personal growth and self-improvement type of mindset, and read things that can help you in that area, and to do a little bit of this abundance thinking with a lot of gratitude. Next question is Mark McDowell. Mark asked the question, how important are business cards today, and what things should I be sure to include, and is the design that important? Background question, I'm looking to update my business card. Currently I have a templated type card. I like it, but I want something different. Are business cards really as important of a tool as they used to be? What kind of things can I include on the card to really make them stand out? And is the investment worth it? Elevator pitch, commercial and personal insurance. Focus is mostly on small to medium-sized businesses. Okay, Mark, good question for you, especially because of the world that you're in. But as far as cards themselves, I do not feel that they're that important, in the sense that I don't carry a card with me anymore. Sometimes I may have a card somewhere and I can pull one out, an easier way to give some contact information on the fly. But for the most part, we're all carry phones now. So if you're connecting with somebody, and you want to potentially do work with them, getting their email. Hey, let me email you something. If you're having that conversation and they express a little bit of interest, hey, let me email you over something that can help you in your with your business in the form of protecting you guys. And and also I'm doing this. I do a blog, or my company sends out updates about how to make sure you're protected and secure in certain areas, whether it's your life or your disability, and protecting that income for your family, and so to speak. So there's a lot of things that you can be doing in that space that will present a way to look at who you are without it being just a card. Now, okay, so if you have a card, you want to make a card, I'd make it decent. I put a lot of money into it, but make it decent. Also, put something into that card that stimulates a question, like, okay, I do commercial and personal insurance. Well, so does so many other people. So what's different about you? What do you do? What is the value that you bring to the table? And if we look at it in the sense of, I provide security, I helped protect your family when you can't. Something like that. I mean, I'm just going on the fly here, but if you put a little thought into that, into what you would say on your card, I would write down something and put in there that tells people what you do in a way that is more appropriate to just say I provide insurance. Okay, more appropriate, I mean more creative, more thoughtful into what you're actually doing for them. What is the value that you're providing for them? So, and everybody should be looking at that. If you have a card or what you have on your website, it's about who you are and what you're providing them, and not just saying I do this, I do that. Okay, so give that a try. Look at cards are right now, I think somebody gives me a card, it's just going to go into the landfill. I'll write down, if I needed that name or email address, phone number or email address, I would just take it and then I'm tossing the card away. It's not something I'm going to keep around. So I have a stack of cards from way back that I thought at some point if I ever needed to go back and track down some people, or I remember somebody from way back that I don't communicate with, I may go back and try to get some cards, but most of the time I just throw them away because I get their information. I don't need the card for anything anymore. So as somebody doing insurance, you may be out marketing, you may be at networking events, you may be talking to people, you want to say, yeah, I do insurance, but express it in a way that gives them more of a connection to what you're really doing. Okay? Okay, next question comes from another unique name, Yolindi D. Govana, I think. So, question from Yolindi is, best way to raise capital during the early stages of your business? Business description and background of question. We produce and sell decorative pillow covers. We want to expand by manufacturing pillow inserts. We resell inserts at the moment, and it's about 50% of our income monthly. Making these ourselves will drive our cost down to a third of the current cost and save on shipping to us. This will give us a very competitive advantage on our Amazon and Walmart marketplaces. Purchasing the equipment and raw stock will be around $90,000 with a retail value of $700,000. That's a lot of opportunity. So it will leave a lot of room for us to offer wholesale pricing. We will be the only manufacturer in the valley, which is a huge market advantage. Who do I approach? Venture capitalists, angel investors, private investors. I have my business plan, projections, last 2 years financials, business assets all ready to go. Elevator pitch. We're a mother and daughter team that designs and creates custom decorative throw pillows for home and business branding. Okay. Very interesting. You look like you're in an attractive situation. A couple things I don't know about from reading this is that what level of income are you, and what level could you handle currently, and what level could you handle some potential debt. So being in investment world, we looked at things as what is the cost of capital to somebody. Okay, cost of capital is what are you paying out, and equity is always the most expensive form of capital, and it has a lot of potential. It can be very beneficial to give equity because at times it's worth little in the beginning of your business to creating a lot of value later on. So in this situation, you have a marketplace, you are selling to people, you are making money, you have customers. With all that factored in, you could go out and figure out how to borrow this money to get access to it to start making the money, because the return is multiple. It's 7 times your money. So can you use credit cards? Do you have a home equity loan? Do you have access to some friends that will loan you money, some family that will loan you money, and giving them a very attractive return? Right now, if you told somebody that you would give them a 10% return on money that they loaned you and put up some collateral, which is the equipment that you're buying for the debt, you would be talking to people that I would be interested. Okay, because you're providing a very attractive return, but it's not giving away a whole lot. It's not giving away. If you didn't have a lot of confidence in yourself and you didn't have a lot of money and you weren't making money, then the equity thing would be more of something to look at. But since you've gotten down such a path, I would first considering debt before you start giving your money away. Venture capital is something that you don't really need to get caught up with because they're just too demanding and they're looking for a quick turnaround. They'd want to get out of your business in 5 years. Okay, angel investor would be potential, somebody that could come in and give you some money. They're going to want a return, but they may have a longer time horizon. So angel is somebody that comes in and helps you to usually when you're in trouble. So they're called angels that come in to save you. And in this situation, you don't need an angel. You need just access to some capital, and to getting that capital in the most cost-efficient way is ultimately what you would want to accomplish here. And first place is start out with debt. Okay, so do you have a bad credit record and so forth? Well, if that's the case, look at using some of the equipment you would be buying as collateral to get other people to loan you the money. Okay, I would, you're in an attractive situation. I would like to know more about it. If you wanted to email me, greg@efficient.us, and talk to me about your other numbers, I could maybe provide a little bit more insight as to what are some other options about this, and we can get creative when I know more about your situation. Okay, next question is Michael Wildling. Thanks, Michael, for the simple and easy to read name. Questions that he asked is, so from an ask, believe, receive, in quotes, prayer perspective, let's say I want a deal to go through, and I'm concerned may not at the end of a meeting. Now, I'm concerned may not at the end of the meeting go through is what he's saying. Do I specifically for the deal to go my way and then just believe and say that the deal went my way? I'm sorry, do I ask specifically for the deal to go my way and then just believe, say the deal went my way? Example, ask, please have my one customer buy 100,000 of merchandise this week. Believe and say, I'm so happy and grateful now that my one customer has bought 10,000 of merchandise this week. What you're saying there is relative to some of the things I've said in this conversation previously. Okay, so a couple things about it to put this right in context is that you cannot control other people. You can put things out into the universe and that you are resonating and look to attract people of that same type of vibrational frequency. You're vibrating this frequency, and you're trying to find people that come in at the same frequency. If they're up here or down here or whatever, it's not like one's better than the other. It's just different frequencies. Okay, so it's like, you tune into 93.1 and you get smooth jazz. You turn into 97.5, you get hard rock. They're just two different frequencies, and what you're getting from those frequencies are different things. So what is it that you're putting out? Well, to do this, you have to align. Just saying something is, and putting out like a general statement that is a mantra or something that you're trying to create in the world. If you're just saying it and you don't connect your heart and with your mind and with what you're saying, it's not going to happen. You're not going to vibrate at the right frequency to make it happen. So working in this space, you would want to do what you're saying, okay, but you don't want to like look at it as forcing something specifically. Like you could say something in the form of I am wanting, not wanting, but I am looking to sell $10,000 of merchandise. My business's growth is going to benefit with $10,000 of merchandise sales, and selling $10,000 to the world is beneficial and valuable because of whatever. Okay, so and you got to have more heart connection and mind connection. I'm not relating it to your situation as much as I would if it was mine, but in this, you got to feel the two coming together if you're going to make something like that actually work for you. Okay? Okay, thanks, Michael. Okay, next question is Robin Turbin. Hi, Robin. I've answered some of your questions before. Question, when starting a business, do you think it is necessary to have a social media presence? Thank you. Business description and background of question. In-person interactions are more comfortable for me. Elevator pitch, as an artist, I help people feel moments of calm through my oil paintings of sunsets. Well, that's beautiful, Robin. That is, I'd love to see some of your work. So, in regard to what you're asking, a couple questions. Do you sell your paintings online? Okay. If you're selling your paintings online, which is a huge positive because you're opening yourself up to a marketplace that is not local and is not a network of friends and family, and not just a local store where the proximity of people to that store are going to be your customers, but it opens up to the whole world. Okay, you could have beautiful sunsets and you could resonate with a message that you put out with your paintings that could attract people from anywhere in the world to buy them. And so so your question is, can I start a business and not have to use social media? Well, if you're selling online, you want to use the benefits of social media. Okay, so I'm not really sure where your hesitation is relative to using social media, and that you're more comfortable with doing like one-on-one or personal interactions. So I look at this and say, if you have an online presence, you have a website that is a e-commerce store that you can sell your paintings and you showcase your paintings on there, then what you could do is you could market them on Instagram. Instagram would be great for this, okay? And showing your paintings and creating some type of like tagline to them. And that's just going to come from you, and you and your heart is really what you need. You don't have to put a lot of mumbo jumbo out there that is not resonating with you. You don't have to write long blogs about your business, but what you can do is just put things out there that interacts with the world that more and more people could see and spread. So if you did a sunset, for example, and you were inspired by that sunset, and it was like, say I was walking across the Golden Gate Bridge and I saw this beauty and I painted this sunset because I was inspired by my walk across the Golden Gate Bridge. People are going to connect to that in a certain way. Some people will, and those that will, that are feeling that interaction, they would maybe be attracted to your particular painting, and then they potentially would want to push that forward and send it to other people so that they could be exposed to your painting and to your work. So yes, using social media is very important in today's world. Now, when you say like writing long, complicated posts about you or who you are or how great you are or what a great artist you are, is not that relevant as it is just putting your stuff out there and allowing a short, sweet message that gives what inspired you to do that painting. I'm talking directly to this, but to everybody out there, it's like, what are the things that you're doing and you're providing to the world, and what caused this connection? What was this mind-heart connection that I was talking about before that allowed for you to do this work, and why you created it? And just something could be done short, or it can be more descriptive. You can put a paragraph into like, I saw this sunset when I was on one of the Caribbean islands, we'll say St. John, and I was there at a beach and I saw this great sunset, and I was on vacation, or I was on my honeymoon, and just some things around those comments about what inspired you to do that painting is when people are going to connect to that in certain ways. And when they do, they're more apt to be connected to you and your work and want to spend money with you. So I think it's important that you have it. It can just be structured in a way that works best for you. You don't have to do like, okay, well, I've been told if I'm with social media, I got to write a blog, or I got to do a lot of video stuff, or I got to do this, I got to do that. You know, if you have beautiful paintings, having a picture of them and putting them out in a place, whether it's Facebook or Instagram, is going to be very easy for you to do, and it's just going to showcase who you are and what you're doing. Okay, and maybe if you're comfortable, you can have somebody videotape you painting, and you could be doing your work and you're not saying anything. You're just like doing it, and then maybe there's some music in the background on it, and a lot of that stuff's easy to do. And maybe there's some writing across the bottom of the screen saying, here is Robin in her studio doing her deep into doing her best work. Okay, so just it's not that hard. Don't look at it as locking yourself into one area, but do what works for you. Most importantly, do what feels right to you when you do social media. Next question. Rohit Gupta. Rohit says, I have a business idea and done some research. Now I'm not sure which direction to go into. Business description and background. I'm thinking of designing the glove as I have done research to cover the basics, but not sure if this is my next step. Not sure what is my next step, I think he's trying to say. Okay, so Rohit, you haven't put a lot of info here, okay, for me to help you. But I'll take a stab at a few things that is general and may help other people. So you talk about designing a glove, okay? If you're just going to create a glove, what's the value of the glove, or what's the uniqueness of that glove? Like we said before in the previous marketing stuff, what is the problem that you're solving with that glove? Is this glove waterproof? Is this glove warm your hand below zero? What is it that is going to make this glove more attractive to other people? Is this glove design more designer and prettier than other gloves? So you got to look at it from that perspective, why you want to make it, and then just say, I'm going to make something. If you're going to make a glove, you got to create some uniqueness out there in the world for people to be attracted to you. So starting with that in mind, the end in mind being, what is my best thing that I'm going to do that's going to fit into this small little niche that nobody else is doing. When you can do that, you're going to have the opportunity to open doors to attract people to what you're doing and them spending money with you. So, if you just do a quick search, Google search around inventor, help with inventing a product. There's a group out there called inventorhelp.com. Okay, inventhelp.com, I think it is. And they will allow people to understand how to do patents, how to do other things. They'll take a percentage of your deal, but they can put a lot of the resources and processes in place. Another way to look at this, if you're designing something, you're going to have some type of prototype, and you would maybe want to get it connected with some engineers or some people that have done prototypes. You can search for some companies that maybe do that in your area, or you could put like a Facebook message out saying, hey, I'm trying to design something. Does anybody know a company that will build some type of prototype for me? Okay, or design it from a clothing perspective. Design a piece of cloth that's going to be representative of what the glove you're trying to make, and what its uniqueness is. What is it? What's the material that's going to be on the glove that could be more attractive than other gloves? They're not as slippery gloves, or in the sense today, right? We all got our phones. My gloves allow you to use your phone. Because I was just out skiing a few weeks ago, and I had to pull off my glove, having to do my phone, respond to a message or something like that. And having a glove that allows you to touch your screen is something that I've seen a few gloves do. I don't think there's that many in the marketplace, but I would look at something like that. Also, you may want to sign an NDA. You have people sign an NDA, which is NDA stands for non-disclosure agreement. I would just type in NDA into Google. There's plenty of generic forms out there, and when you present this to somebody, before you talk to them about your idea, you got to make sure they're not going to steal your idea, and you got to make sure that they are not going to be able to resell it or do something along similar lines down the road. So reading through an NDA is usually pretty commonsensical. You just, hey, this is my idea, and you don't have any rights to use it or sell it or provide it to anybody for a period of time or forever, whatever you may feel most comfortable with. And so on. Yeah, and so using like Facebook or LinkedIn or other sources to be able to share that or find the people that you're looking for that can help you is always the positives of the network community that we live in today. Okay, last question for the day is Christopher Joseph. Christopher asked, is a pre-launch strategy recommended for a software product still in development? And do you have any tips, resources to better learn how to create a proper pre-launch strategy? Business description and background of question. I'm currently in alpha testing with a small group of targeted customers for my software tool for content creators and streamers. It was recommended by my CTO to do a pre-launch to build hype, continue gauging interest, and expand our email list. She says we could do this pre-launch before the product is finalized. We are thinking along the lines of a coming soon landing page with and enter your email to stay in the know. I would like to know your thoughts on how and when a pre-launch strategy should be executed. Thank you in advance. Absolutely. Okay. Pre-launch is getting things out in the marketplace as soon as possible and creating awareness about it as soon as possible is always an advantageous thing to do. So smart recommendation by your CTO. Now, how you go about it? You said you're in alpha. Alpha is pre-beta. So beta means you got your product ready to go. But I don't know if you're utilizing alpha in the same terms as beta. But alpha testing usually means that you're testing it through your company, and you got a few people working on it to make sure that you got a lot of kinks out. Beta users are more of, does this flow correctly for the business process that we're solving or how they're using this? So I'd say that just as you get ready to launch this in beta with more customers and the appropriate customers, and you're getting it out in that world, this would be a great way to spread the message of who you are, to get access to more people, build up that list like you're talking about, and do so in a way that's going to attract more customers. And finally, when you fully launch, a lot of people today, when I've talked to them about some of the different projects and things I've worked on, they were like, wow, hey, I'll test that for you when you're ready to go. That's really interesting to me. I want to be a part of that. And so if what you're doing is unique and different, and in this world, if you can get that message out, and if you can have other people share it for you, or you can get some people to write up some stuff on it and talk about it in the respective chat rooms or other places, then you will direct people to you, because when the new and different stuff is coming, that always piques people's interest. And they're going to want to say, yeah, I want to know more about that. And people are very willing to throw their email up to allow you to have access to a potential customer when they know that's new and different and it's coming out soon, and they want to be part of the new thing. Just think about psychology. It's like we look at people standing in line for the next phone years. Not so much today, I don't think, but years ago when the new iPhones or the new whatever was coming out, there would be people camped for days waiting for that new piece because they wanted to be the first one to be there. So that similar type of psychology is applicable to this. People want to be exposed to this first. They want to be, there's that smaller segment of the population that wants to be ahead of the game, ahead of the what's coming and what's popular, and they want to be in the know, so they're more apt to be more aggressive in communicating, connecting with you at this stage. So definitely would put it out there. If you said you're alpha testing, and if you are, that means you got targeted customers in it already, I would consider that beta testing, and I would think that you'd be ready to go right now as far as getting that page up and then attracting more beta users, which will lead to customers that will tell the story for you to other potential customers. So start that network flow and an aspect of connecting to the world, and share your message with people. Don't hesitate at all. It's very positive. Thanks for your question, Christopher. And with that, I am done for today's questions. Look forward to seeing you guys all again talking to you again next month and answering your questions. I love doing this. I love sharing. I think today it flows easier for me. I like to share stuff. I actually would rather be talking to people one-on-one and being able to ask them questions that I can really dig in and drill down to a level that I think I can go a lot deeper with people to help them with their business concerns and so forth. But hopefully that you guys got some value today, and look forward to talking to you next time. So to AO community, keep kicking and pushing and driving and doing everything you can, because your success is going to come because of you. So go out and make it happen. Upward and onward. Take care all.